Hello everyone, thank you so much for viewing this video. Before we get started with discussing the contents of the video, I wanted to introduce my nonprofit, the Accelerated Training Program. Our vision is twofold. First, we want to expose all marginalized groups to cybersecurity education, as well as removing the systemic exclusion of cybersecurity education to marginalized groups. Our website is www.t-atp.org. And if you would like to partner or want to learn more, please visit our contact page where you can fill out your name, your email, and a message, and we will get back to you. And again, thank you so much for viewing the contents of this video. Please check out the nonprofit when you have a moment, and let's get to the video. Hello, and welcome to day 15. We're in a new section, secure coding. Santa is looking for a sidekick. Okay. So, input validation. Insufficient input validation is one of the biggest security concerns for web apps. The issue occurs when user-provided input is inherently trusted by the application. Since user input can also be controlled by an attacker, we can see how this inherent trust can lead to many problems. Several web application vulnerabilities, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and unrestricted file uploads, stem from the issue of insufficient user input validation. This task will focus on how insufficient input validation can lead to an unrestricted file upload vulnerability. So the learning objectives, we're going to learn about input validation of file upload functionality, unrestricted file upload vulnerabilities, phishing through file uploads, and how to properly secure file upload functionality. So the unrestricted and unrestricted file uploads. The ability to upload files to a server has become integral to how we interact with web apps. Just think of file uploads like a profile picture for a social media website, a report being uploaded to cloud storage, or saving a project on GitHub. The applications for file upload features are limitless, and you use this every day. Unfortunately, when poorly handled, file uploads can also open up severe vulnerabilities in the server. This can lead to anything from relatively minor nuances, problems, all the way up to full remote code execution, if an attacker manages to upload and execute a shell. With unrestricted upload access to a server and the ability to retrieve data at will, an attacker can deface or otherwise alter existing content up to and including injecting malicious web pages, which leads to further vulnerabilities such as cross-site scripting or cross-site request forgery. By uploading arbitrary files, an attacker can potentially use the server to host and or serve illegal content or to leak sensitive information. Realistically speaking, an attacker with the ability to upload a file of their choice to your server with no restrictions is very dangerous. They have the keys to the kingdom. Unrestricted file uploads usually have two main exploitation paths. If an attacker can retrieve the uploaded file, it can lead to code execution if the attacker uploads a file such as a web shell. If the file is viewed by a user, think of a CV application, then an attacker can embed malware in the uploaded file that would execute on the user's workstation once they view the file. Okay. There has been quite a lot of focus on remote code execution through web shells in previous rooms. So in this task, we will focus on the latter exploitation path. So the CV path. Santa is looking for a sidekick. Okay, let's get to the story. Santa is looking to hire new staff for his security team and has hired a freelance developer to create a web application where potential candidates can upload their CVs. Elf McSkitty is aware that third-party risks can be serious and has tasked you, Exploit McRed, with testing this application before it goes live. Since the festivities are right around the corner, we will have to focus on the core feature of the website, namely the ability to upload a CV. Elf McSkitty has provided you with the latest version of the application. Start the machine attached to this task to load the website. Okay, it takes about roughly 2 minutes. Okay, so let's start our machine. And we're going to I'm going to start the machine, and I'm going to start the attack box. And while that's loading, we could be reading the rest of the story. Okay. So, in about 2 minutes, we'll get our IP. Okay. Using either the attack box of your Hack Me VPN connections. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Santa's Sidekick. CV upload for special elves. Do you think you got what it takes to be Santa's sidekick? Upload your CV here and we will be in touch. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay. As we can see, the website allows us to upload our CV to apply for a job in Santa's security team. Before we start the actual testing, let's first try to use the website as intended to get a better understanding of what is happening. Using your favorite word editor, create a simple new PDF and upload it to the application. Once uploaded, we can see the following message. Okay. The PDF was uploaded. Okay, interesting. The message also tells us that there will be a human or elf, more specifically, interaction with the file. This calls for further investigation. Okay, Santa's team will review your CV and get in touch. Since Santa believes in strong security, the file has been stored outside the web root. No unethical elves here. Okay. Let's see what happens when we try to upload something other than a PDF, like an executable. Okay. What do we know? It works. Okay. This seems to work. It seems like the freelance developer has attempted to implement some security controls to prevent naughty elves. However, not all controls were implemented. But can we actually do something with this that will be malicious? Okay. So why do we care about web root? Okay, so why would the developer take great care to store the file outside the web root? Web servers are fairly simple things. You request a resource, and the web server then responds with the resource. The magic happens when a request resource has a specific file type. Since this is a .NET application, the following resource types will be considered special: ASP, ASPX, CS, HTML. When a resource is requested with one of these file types, the web server will first execute some instructions found in these pages before sending the compiled response back to the user. Here is an example of an ASPX instruction that will be executed by the server. So we see we have a form, and we're doing a HTTP post, run at server, encoding type, form data, and we have an upload. Okay, so we have another file upload. So that's another website called upload. Okay, this tells the server that the HTML element first requires some formatting before being added to the HTML in the response, as can be seen by the run at server directive. If we could upload any file that we want, we could upload one of these special types of pages, like an ASPX web shell, if this file was stored in the web root. We could request the file from the server, forcing the server to execute the code within our file before sending the response. It would be possible to get remote code execution on the web server. However, as the file is stored outside of the web root, we cannot make such a request that will retrieve our uploaded file for execution. However, this protection is not sufficient for two reasons. Other vulnerabilities, such as local file inclusion, may exist that allows us to force the web server itself to recover the file that was stored outside the web root. If the web server recovers the file, the code within the file will again be executed, allowing for remote code execution. While we cannot perhaps get remote code execution using this vulnerability, we know with certainty that actual users would interact with the files that we upload. Rather than targeting the web server directly, we could target the users that would interact with these files. If we were to upload a file that had malware embedded, it would execute when the user interacted with the file, still allowing us to breach Santa's perimeter. Okay, So, a shell from Santa. Let's try to target one of Santa elves that will be retrieving the uploaded CVs. In most cases, we will have to be quite creative with the malware that we upload, especially since this is for an application to a security role. This will require us to create a CV with a malicious macro embedded. However, since we are on Santa's red team and this is a security assessment, we only need to show a proof of concept. Let's use Metasploit to generate a malicious CV. Okay, so we're going to use MS Venom, and we're going to say the payload is Windows x64, meta interpreter, reverse TCP, L host, host equal ton 0, L port, and I'm going to make this 111 because you want to make it a port that you can access, but not one of the standard ports like 80, 80, 80, 53, 23, 22. And we're going to say this is an exe, and we're going to call it cv username.exe. Okay, and I can already tell I made a mistake. Reverse TCP. Oh, okay, so I have to change this. So I have config. I should have known this. I need coffee. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say the local host is here 10 10 171 214. Okay, so we created the CV. Okay, so we have our CV username.exe. Okay, so let's do the console, and we're going to do it as, okay, I'm going to say MSF console. This is going to open Metasploit. And we're going to say use exploit multi-handler. Okay, so show options, set payload to Windows x64. Okay, x64. Jesus. Interpreter, reverse TCP. Okay, so our payload currently was generic reverse shell reverse TCP, and that's not what we wanted. We wanted to change it to Windows x64 interpreter reverse TCP, and we're going to set the L host here. And I think I might have to change, oh crap, I might have to change my port for the okay, so I think I might have to change my port for the file. I don't think it's going to pick it up. We'll see. Okay. So if we go here, HTTP 10.10.163.104. Okay. So we're going to browse. We'll say CVE. I'm going to upload. So, yeah. Okay, so let me set L port to 111. Okay, so exploit. Okay, so we had, okay, that opened our session. We had to change the port because originally we did port 444, nothing was coming up, right? That was because when I created the CV username.exe, I made the listening port 111, and I didn't change that in Metasploit. I kept it as 444. So since those ports are different, 1111 does not equal 4444. So when I uploaded the file, Metasploit's like, hey, I don't see anything. Nothing's here. So, but when I changed the listening port in Metasploit from 4444 to 1111, it found it. So we have our session open. Okay. This is sufficient for a proof of concept for Elf McSkitty to take to Santa and request that additional security controls must be implemented on the application using your shell. Go read the file from the specific Elf's directory. Okay, where am I? So okay, so we're on. So with this interpreter, we're currently on the server for Santa server. So I am actually oh. Okay, so users HR elf. Okay, I'm looking for the flag. I want to try desktop first. Uh, documents. Okay. Okay. So we found the flag. So this is THM. Naughty. Oh, Jesus. Naughty foul. Uploads can get you RCE. Okay. What is the title of the web application developed by Santa's freelancers? Okay, no. What is the title? Did I close it? Okay, let me try to go back and see. HTTP 10.10.163.104. 10.10.163.104. Santa Sidekick 2. Santa Sidekick 2. Okay, so that's right there. What is the name given to file uploads that allow threat actors to upload any files they want? Unrestricted. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's keep reading. Okay. So we got the shell, and we was able to, because with Linux, when you look for the flag, you go to the home directory. It's right there. For Windows, it's usually in desktop or documents. So when I went to desktop and I didn't see anything, next was to go to documents and it was there. Okay, just a FYI. Okay, properly securing file uploads. To adequately secure the file upload feature, we will need to implement layers of defense. In this task, we will use a C#, so that's what the not ampersand, but the pound stands for sharp, C#. Excuse me, we will use a C# file upload as the case study. C# is a popular language used to create both Windows application and web applications at large organizations. Let's look at our base file upload function first. So, we see on post upload, we're uploading a file. We see we're uploading it to our D folder, CV upload, and we're doing the form file, and we're combining the full path with the form file, and we're saying create a file with the file path and then put it there. As we can see, the developer made sure to store the CV outside the web root by setting the full path to a different drive, D. However, this is not sufficient. Let's take a look at what additional controls can be implemented. File content validation. We can validate the content of the file by reviewing the content type header that is sent by the browser when a file is uploaded. So what we're doing here, we're getting the file, the content type. So what we're saying, we're getting the file that was uploaded. We're getting the content type. We're splitting by the slash, and we're turning it to just lowercase. And so if the content type equals PDF, allowed equals false. Okay, if the if it's not, okay, because I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Okay, but if it's not PDF, then we do not allow it. Okay, so that's what that exclamation point is. In programming, that means not. So if the file content type is not PDF, we will reject the file. While this is a good control, it should be noted that since the browser sets this header, an attacker can bypass this control by intercepting the request and changing the header. Okay, so that's why we're doing defense in layers of defense. File extension validation. We can also verify the file extension. This will allow us to limit the type of files that can be uploaded. We can therefore add the following lines to our code. So we get the extension of the file we upload, and if it's not equal to PDF, we don't allow it. Okay, this will limit the file types to only PDFs. If a user's CV is in a different format, they will have to convert their CV first. This control should ideally be implemented with an allow list as shown above, since a block list can still be bypassed in certain cases. Because, just to specify a little more, with the block list, you have to enumerate all the different permutations, and trust me, you're going to forget one. So that's why it's best to do an allow list of, okay, this is my allowed, this is what I want, in this case, PDFs, and anything that doesn't follow PDFs, the extension of a PDF, we disallow. Okay. File size validation. Attackers can also try to upload files that are so large and consume so much disk space that other potential candidates are not able to upload their CVs. To prevent this, we can implement file size validation controls. So, we look at the content length and we're saying 10 megabytes is the maximum file upload. So, we set the max file size. And we say, hey, if the content size is greater, we do not allow. Okay, this will only allow file sizes smaller than the specified amount. File renaming. As mentioned before, even though our uploads are stored outside the web root, an attacker can leverage an additional vulnerability, such as file inclusion, to execute the file. To counter these attempts, we can look to rename uploaded files to random names, making it almost impossible for an attacker to recover their file by name. So what we're doing, we're setting a GUID, and this is created at random. When you say new GUID, it's a randomly generated. So what you're doing now is you're combining the full path name and then the ID, which is the GUID.pdf. So this way, you're renaming the file. So even if an attacker was able to get on the server, they wouldn't know which file theoretically they created. Okay, malware scanning. Even with all of the above controls implemented, there is still the risk of an attacker uploading a malicious file that targets the elves that will review the CVs. Since Santa is a high-value individual, some nation states might even use specialized exploits found in PDF readers to upload a malicious PDF in the hopes of getting access to remove themselves from Santa's naughty list. You cannot do that. You cannot remove yourself from Santa's naughty list. In order to combat these types of malicious files, we can scan uploaded files for malware. We can install a package such as ClamAV or antivirus and use it to scan the contents of each uploaded file. So what we say here is a Clam client, and we're going to the server, and then we're getting the port. And what we're doing here is scan results. And so if the scan results equal a virus detected, we don't allow. Okay, so let's put all this together. Combining all of the techniques, we can implement a secure file upload function as below. So here, we're setting it outside of the web root by doing the D. Next, we're doing the GUID because we want to do file renaming. Finally, we're looking at the validate the content type to make sure that it is PDF. Next, we're validating the extension to make sure it's PDF. And then we're making sure we're not going above 10 megabytes for the maximum size. And we're scanning for malware. And only if all of these conditions are true do we upload. Okay, all of these techniques, all of these controls are required for the simple reason that we cannot inherently trust user input. You should never trust user input. If you are a developer, never trust user input. I don't care how simple your program is, whatever you're developing, and you're like, I don't have anything that's a value. You do. You never, ever, under any circumstance, trust user input. Because as an attacker, if I am allowed to enter input, I am going to try to enter malicious input. So never trust it. As such, user input must be validated and controlled. Okay, so that's what I said. Sending this feedback to the freelance developer will allow them to secure the file upload feature. Okay, what defense technique can be implemented to ensure that file types can be uploaded? I want to say file extension. Yeah, file extension validation. Okay, file extension validation. What defense technique can be used to make sure the threat actor cannot recover their file? File renaming. Okay. What defense technique can be used to make sure malicious files that can hurt elves are not uploaded? Scanning malware? Let me see. Scanning malware. Okay. So, okay, if we want to learn more about vulnerabilities, let's check out the Intro to Web Hacking module. Again, web is life. It is the sustenance we need in this world. Web is life. It is always life. Always life. Okay. So, I hope that you learned something in this video. This was fun. In this lab, excuse me. This was really fun. And I can't wait to see you in day 16. We're getting close to Christmas. Like, okay, we didn't see Bandit Yeti, but I'm sure they're around the corner to try to disrupt Christmas. So I hope you have a good day. See you in tomorrow's video. Bye.